the registration table. A lot of people don't even have them at their events, and yet it's a key ingredient to event mastery because it funnels the energy and it allows you to take control of the experience for the attendee.
Welcome to the Referrals Podcast, the show designed to help everyone from the solopreneur to the Fortune 500 company win the referral game. And now, here is your host, Michael J. Maher.
Welcome, everyone, to another amazing episode of Referrals Podcast. I am so glad you're here for this one. You are going to get a treat. You are going to absolutely love this young lady as much as I do, and you are going to love her idea. This event, it is going to blow your mind. I can't wait for you to discover how awesome she is and this event is, and we're going to dive deep into that in just 1 second. I've got to give a quick shout out to an implementer, Kim Beebe. She's an RMA member. We just had our RMA only mastermind, and one of the things that I talk about in that mastermind was when you get a referral, and this is kind of the referral tip of the day. So just take this and embrace it and just utilize it the next time you get referred. When you get referred and you're talking to the client or the customer, potential client, you want to ask them, what did the referral say about me? What did the person who gave you so let's say Tom referred Denise. You would say to Denise, hey, what did Tom say to you about me? So there's many reasons for that. One is because it reinforces the referral mentally for both of the people in the referral. But the other thing it does is when Denise tells you what Tom said, you have the ability to maybe hone what Tom is saying about you. Tom might have said, well, you know what, Michael's fantastic with first-time homebuyers, and you, Denise, as a first-time homebuyer, should definitely be working with Michael because he's great with first-time homebuyers. Well, at that point, I've got a conversation with Tom, and I'm going to tell Tom, hey, listen, I just want you to know, I really appreciate the referral of Denise. I also want you to know, I don't just work with first-time homebuyers. I also work with first-time home sellers. Like, Tom, when you go to sell your house, I'm going to help you sell it. And I also work with people who are moving up. I help with relocation, and I also help with the luxury market. So I just wanted you to know, I don't just help first-time homebuyers, but I really appreciate the referral to Denise, and I just wanted to give you an update. So just saying, what did the referral say about me, gets into a great conversation, and it also reinforces to the person, especially a seller, that you were referred. So if you're in a competitive situation and you're one of 3 agents, well, one of the first questions out of your mouth should be, hey, listen, what did the referral source say to you about my services? Because then it's going to reinforce in their head that you were referred versus maybe 2 other people they got from signs in the neighborhood or a magazine or something like that. So what have you heard about me? What did they say about me is a great thing. And Kim Beebe put it into play and actually ended up getting another piece of business from it, another referral from it, because she had that conversation. So she implemented within 2 days of learning it. And that's what I hope you get from Referrals Podcast is I hope you take one thing from this and you incorporate it into your daily practice. And guess what? It generates referrals. That is the whole heart of Referrals Podcast. And that leads me to the next thing about implementation is Event Mastery class starts on February 6th. How would you like me to literally, in a live way, hold your hand week by week to holding and hosting a referral event, an event where you're going to get referrals? Would you like that? I would like that. Like, I'll hold your hand. I'll help you go through this. And guess what? Eventmastery.com starts on February 6th. We'd love to have you involved. Eventmastery.com. Check it out. It's one of the greatest things I've ever done. And I truly believe perhaps the most underutilized lead generation method out there is the fun, awesome, profitable event mastery type of system. So check it out at eventmastery.com. All right. I've made you wait only because it's that freaking good. Let me introduce you to our guest today. Cherie Harrington, a trailblazer in both corporate leadership and real estate, embodies the essence of a life well lived. Hailing from upstate New York, Cherie's journey began with a family that instilled independence. I can definitely relate to that. And a belief that she could achieve anything. Venturing to California after high school, she ascended the ranks from a Domino's pizza store to executive positions over 3 decades. Known for her leadership, she eventually transitioned to real estate, thank God, driven by a desire to make a meaningful impact on people's lives. In 2017, she embraced a full-time role in real estate, coining her mantra, Luxury Lifestyle Redefined. Love that. Today, Cherie thrives in Carlsbad, California, specializing in providing active or retired professionals with a seamless and stress-free luxury experience. Certified in luxury homes, probate, and 1031 tax exchanges, she redefines communication and expectations for her clients. Beyond real estate, Cherie's adventurous spirit extends to boating, which makes a lot of sense about today's subject, flying, and a commitment to giving back through involvement with local charities. Passionate about fitness and a plant-based lifestyle, she believes optimal health is a non-negotiable luxury. Cherie's mission is to help everyone redefine and attain their experience of a luxurious lifestyle while making a positive impact on her community. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me introduce to you Cherie Harrington. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. That was a mouthful. I love it.
You're worth it. It was awesome. And
Thank you.
definitely, you've done a lot and accomplished a lot. And I love what you said about like a family that literally supported independence. That is my family. Like that is my mom and dad. And we have 5 independent mayors that are out there doing stuff. And then we get together for Thanksgiving and Christmas, but it's just like, it's an independent world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love it. And I feel like it's not like that anymore. So it's kind of an interesting thing to look at.
Yeah. How many siblings did you have, just out of curiosity?
2. I was the oldest. Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. So 3 kids total in the family.
Yes.
So, okay. Yeah. In New York.
In New York.
Yeah. Wow. Well, first of all, you told me beforehand that you're an avid listener of Referrals podcast. Is that true?
I am. I listen to you almost every day while I'm working out.
Yeah.
Fail. Yeah.
I have to tell you, that's what's so amazing. From our research, and people are listening to this right now, you are listening, either walking and listening to it in your earbuds, or you are on a treadmill, or you're on elliptical, or you're on a bike. And I love working out. So I get that nature. I love the combination. I love the quote unquote multitasking. And, but it's one of those I have to ask, like, when do you take notes? Like, how do you I do it verbally through Siri, right? So it's like, hey, Siri, note. But how do you do it, Cherie?
I do it. I work out with weights. So I do it between sets. I just have literally a note section in there labeled podcasts. So there's like 2 or 3 podcasts that I listen to, and I just take notes as I go. And so I'm learning while I'm working out, like you said, multitasking.
Yeah. Love that. I have to tell you, when I'm doing my weights, I don't have a podcast in my head. I have, and maybe I need to be careful what I reveal here, but there is a deep seat of bad boy inside of me somewhere, because the music I listen to lifting weights it's not spiritual. If you know it's a super hard metal rock. And it's like, that's just what gets my adrenaline up for the heavy weight. So it's interesting. Works. Yeah. Whatever works. That is the key. You've discovered some things that really, really work well. So let's start with a little bit of a background on your real estate career. How long have you been an agent? Where's your market? And tell us a little bit about your team.
Okay. So I've had my license 20 years, but I did have that corporate background. So I've been full-time 7 years. We service the San Diego market. And right now it's me, a transaction coordinator, my assistant, and I have 1 other agent.
Very good. Very good. And love that. And so how much of your business is by referral currently? Like what percentage?
Almost 100%.
Okay. Every once in a while you get an open house or a call in or a walk in or
something from a postcard, from my farm, but it's almost 100%. So 50% agent to agent referral, and then 50% from my MVP group. Yeah. Which is my sphere.
Yeah. Love that. All right. I make sure I bring up the MVP group as we go through this. All right. So you've done events and you've been doing them for a while.
Yes.
And then, all right. So how many events do you do each year? How many did you do? And then what have you kind of worked out?
So I was doing a couple of events a year, and now this will be my 7th year in business, doing 4 to 6 events a year. And I can't thank you enough for the event mastery course. I read 7L when I first started full time. And like everybody does, I think, you don't execute it, you set it down. I read it again. And I was like, oh my God, this stuff is gold. And then, went on your website, went on the Facebook page, learned about event mastery. And I loved doing events, but they were very disorganized. So taking that event mastery course, it changed the course of my business 100%. I mean, it was just so well worth the money. And I would recommend it to everyone. You have to take, if you do events, you have to take this course.
Well, that's our show today, folks. I really appreciate Cherie coming on today. And that's all. I mean, I got chills listening to you tell that. So thank you very much for that. I definitely appreciate it. And so, that's the cool thing, right? Is all right. So you've been doing events and you kind of haphazard, maybe a little disorganized, which is very typical for events. And then all of a sudden you kind of discover this system. And now I really want to dive deep into, all right, you've implemented this system and it worked for you in a big way. And so I want to jump into this yacht event that you did towards the end of the year and for your top ambassadors. Now I call them ambassadors. I just heard you. Is your MVP your entire database, or is your MVP your top people?
The MVP group it has about 175 people in it.
Okay. And more than that amount of people, right, around the country.
So these are people that have referred me business or have been a buyer or seller with me, or an influencer in the area that I feel like could give me business.
What a great manageable number. Like 175. So, going into this year and kind of continuing, like there's really 175 people to focus on. And it's just like, that is, I remember when I was doing the math in December of like 1999, and I discovered the numbers and like I did kind of the energy exercise. Like, these people I like, they give me energy, they're influential, they're connected, they're successful. And then I had a lot of people that didn't necessarily have those traits. And it was like 199 people. And when it was just like, I can manage 199. I can't manage 2,500. I can't send everybody in 2,500 people a $5 calendar. Now I could, but it's like, it wouldn't worth the ROI. But I can send 199 people a calendar. I can do things with 199 people. So I love that. 175 MVPs, and I love MVPs, of course, because you can do a lot with that acronym. All right. So tell us about the yacht event. What was the name of it?
It was the name of the yacht was Triton. So it was just Triton Yacht Event.
Okay. And how did you come up with this idea?
So we had a boat in San Diego Bay and went out on it pretty much every weekend. And we kept seeing this big blue catamaran. And I'm like, wow, that's so cool. And then just sitting down with my assistant trying to figure out events for the year, I was like, why don't you check into that and see how much that costs? And I was thinking, oh my God, it's going to be some outrageous amount of money. And, we're not going to be able to do it. But it really wasn't, especially when you have sponsors paying for everything. So we decided, I talked to a couple of the MVPs, would you make the drive to San Diego? Because it's about 35 minutes. And they're like, absolutely. So we decided to do it after that.
Where was it? It was outside of San Diego?
In San Diego Bay.
Okay.
So I live in Carlsbad, which is about 35 minutes north. I live in North County, San Diego.
Okay. Well, an event that's alive is worth the drive, right?
Yes.
So if it's going to be fun, it's going to, give them some life, then they're going to make the drive. And you discovered that they would make that. Yeah. All right. So with that, how many were invited? Were the whole 175?
Only 66 people.
56?
66.
66.
So that was I was kind of bummed when I first heard that, but
sure.
It was interesting too, because normally it's, just however many people show up are the ones that attend. So it was the smallest event that we've ever had. And it was full from, we had all of our RSVPs within 3 days of sending out the first communication on it. And we do the 8 touches for the communication, but we didn't even have to do that with this one because it was full immediately.
So, how many did you end up inviting? Did you invite like 33 and their spouses?
I invited
and they all
everyone.
said yes?
I
Okay,
invited the whole group. Yeah.
Okay, so you invited 175 and you just said, hey, we only have 66 spaces.
Yeah.
So let me know as soon as possible, which of course is scarcity, and it actually plays in your favor.
Exactly.
Okay. And so within 3 days, you filled up, your invitation process was very short.
It was. We still ended up doing the rest of the touches and just kind of tweaked the wording just because that's the whole point of it, right? Is touching them 8 times.
That's right. And instead of an invitation, it's a confirmation and appreciation, right? Hey, I'm just confirming we only have 66. You're going to make it, right?
Yeah.
And you can do that through email and text and handwritten note even, thank you for RSVPing. So love that. All right. And so let's talk about expenses. What did the event cost?
$4,500.
Okay, that's I thought it was going to be a lot more, to be honest with you. I mean, that's just a little bit north of like a movie theater.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it wasn't bad. And that was including we had, I think, 2 drinks free per person. And then we had a huge charcuterie board.
Okay.
So it had a bar in there. It was a very, very cool yacht.
Cash bar on top of the 2 drinks. They could get more. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And then what was the date of the event? I'm just curious.
It was in August. I don't remember the exact date. I think it was the beginning of August.
Okay.
It was on a Saturday.
Okay.
Sunday. It was on Sunday.
Yeah. Was there any rhyme or reason to the day and date? Like Sunday, basically they're more relaxed and it's kind of an off day, Yeah,
not really. We just wanted to do August because it was before the kids went back to school. The weather is perfect in August because here in May and June, we get May gray and June gloom. So there's a lot of socked in days where it's cold. Mm-hmm. So July and August are really like prime time for the weather.
Love that. And are a lot of your MVPs school age children parents that age, or are they older, younger, mix?
I would say older and younger. We don't have a ton of kids and people with kids in the MVP group.
Yeah. Okay. So it wasn't necessarily like a relaxed before the kids go back to school, or it could be an end of summer type of feel, right?
Yeah.
So those summer never ends in San Diego.
Right.
It's just always beautiful there.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. So Triton Yacht event, and we had 175 narrowed down to 66. And instead of really doing 7, 8 invites, we did 1 invite, and then we did 6 or 7 confirmations and appreciations. Cost about $4,500. And then I'm guessing that you got some friends involved and some sponsor partners to help offset the cost. And talk to me a little bit how'd that work?
Yeah, we had 9 sponsors. So normally we'll have a little bit more than that, maybe like 12 sponsors, but we did 9 for this. It was $500 each. I had my financial planner, flooring company, moving company, my lender, termite company, insurance broker, a glass company.
And glass?
Glass. So these are people like the flooring and the glass people. I use them for all of my listings when I'm preparing a listing. And then when somebody calls me and says, hey, we need a window replaced, like I use them all the time. So like the flooring company, for example, they did our house. They've done a bunch of my clients' house before we put it on the market, after, the sale or whatever. And they sponsor every event now. They're like, one of your events for the year, let me cut you a check. So same thing with my insurance broker. He sponsors every event. The lender, obviously, because she does, 99% of my buyers. So they love this event situation. They get a lot of referrals.
Yeah. So So I love it. So financial planner, flooring company, lender, moving company, insurance, glass. And then you said another one that I didn't quite get.
Termite.
Okay.
She does every event also. And my natural hazard disclosure report company.
Okay. So what's that you had done some events before. But what was that conversation like on this event with the sponsors? Like,
so let them know. I normally did $250 to sponsor because I would have more sponsors. So I let them know, it's going to be a smaller group, more intimate. Everybody's on top of each other, so to speak. You're not going to be, walking off or whatever. You're going to have much more opportunity for conversations with people. So I'm going to have to, bump the price up.
Mm-hmm.
No one said no.
Yeah. So the first 9 people you asked basically said they're in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so let's talk referrals. I mean, we got to talk referrals. That's the bottom line, right?
Definitely.
So how did you do it? How did you get referrals?
So we do the door prize entry form and fill that out. And so there's always a registration desk. These were the things that were missing from my old events. I would just have a pie event and, hey, just show up and
give them a pie. And then they were gone.
Yeah. So registration desk, I do not man the registration desk. 2 of my sponsors will do it. They have to sign in. They know that if they don't fill out the form, even if they don't, even if they put all no's or whatever, that they don't need a referral, that their entry doesn't count. So then we just take that entry, put it in a glass bowl. And then we have tons of prizes to give out. For this one, we did those beach blankets that fold up into a tote bag. We gave out like 20 of those and just a bunch of random stuff. So we had at least probably 30 prizes, which was cool because you had a really good chance to win. And then while we were giving out the prizes, I announced who the sponsors are in the beginning. I have them stand up. They have name tags that say they're the sponsor and what their company is. And, the next day we collect all those door prize entry forms. And then the next day we just go through them and just see, what was checked off, and we connect the people over over email. So the flooring company with the person that said they were interested in flooring. So for this event, we had probably the lowest number of referrals just because there were less people. Right. So we had 26 referrals, which I think is still awesome. But the event before this, we had 69 referrals. So it was less, but they had more time to bond with the MVPs because all of these sponsors are in my MVP group now.
Okay.
So they're starting to know people. They're seeing them over and over and over again at events. And it was just more bonding time for them, but they were still all very strong referrals.
Yeah, you got to realize what you just said is like 2 minutes, but you gave 20 strategies in 2 minutes, like the registration table. A lot of people don't even have them at their events. And yet it's a key ingredient to event mastery because it funnels the energy and it allows you to take control of the experience for the attendee. So you took control of the experience, and part of that is having them fill out a door prize entry form for 30 freaking door prizes, which is fantastic. They had to feel like they got a shot. And but not only are you using the door prize entry form to gather data and to update your database and get referrals for yourself, you're using a portion of the door prize entry form for your sponsor partners. And, basically says, would anyone or maybe even yourself have any need for flooring services in the next 6 months to a year? Yes, maybe, no, me, and if yes, who, essentially, right? So they circle a yes or a maybe, then it's going to go to your flooring company. If it's a me, it goes to your flooring company, and all of a sudden, you're generating these outgoing referrals, and they're no longer sponsors, really. They're partners in the event because they're getting what they want, which is not just names and contact. They want leads. They want opportunities. So you're an opportunity director, so to speak. And then I love what you said about if it's not filled out completely, the entry doesn't count. So you can fill it out completely. You can put no's or whatever you want, but just please fill it out completely, and we'll make sure that it's in the drawing. Love
and it's
that.
kind of a joke now with them, like they know, and the registration desk is always somewhere where they can't get into the event without passing the registration desk. So they can't think they're going to get around it or whatever. And everybody knows what it's for. And during this event, I had a couple of people ask me, how are you paying for this? Like, who are these sponsors? Are they sponsoring these events? And I said, they are. And so they went up to the sponsors and thanked them for it. So I think people are starting to see that, like, my events before were much smaller and on a less grand scale. And now I'm able to have these just really cool luxury kind of events, and they're all about it. They love it.
They're growing with you, right? And they're going on this luxury journey with you as and I have to tell you, one of my finest accomplishments with event mastery is this whole thought of making money. You can make money holding the event, and then you're going to make money on the referrals that you generate. Well, you can also make money on the outgoing referrals, and you can also make money by charging admission. But essentially, in the beginning, it's partnering with people.
Right.
And what happens is you get filled with abundance versus scarcity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid to do this $2,500 movie theater because I don't have the money, or I'm not sure if I'm going to get the money back out of it. And, or they see it as an expense instead of an investment. And then all of a sudden you get 5 sponsors at $500, and that $2,500 is paid for. Or then you got 2 others that say, I'll do 500. Now you've got 3,500. And it's just, it's mind blowing that you have abundance now in your life. And you're like, what am I going to do with that extra $1,000? And it's like, you can keep it. You can donate it to the charity. You can add to the experience of the attendees. You can do anything you want. And that's the beauty of this system, I believe, is that, it gets to the point where you have this abundance mentality instead of maybe a scarcity mentality,
I agree. Yeah.
So other things, you just drop these little nuggets in there left and right. Number 1 is the who is not you on the registration table. You are Princess Diana. You're the host with the most, right? The hostess with the mostest. You're walking around loving on people. And the registration, I love that you have the other people manning. And I'm guessing you had to have sponsors fight off for those 2 spots, because that is a prime spot for a sponsor partner. I mean, because everybody's going to see their name badge.
Yes, they're very excited about that. And it's the same, it's the sponsors that sponsor every event that usually do the registration desk. So people are getting to know them personally now over and over, and they recognize them. So it's been nice.
Yeah. Now, you said before that there were 26 referrals. Was that 26 total, or is that 26 outgoing? And then you haven't counted your incoming, or how does the 26 break up?
It was 26 for the sponsors.
Okay. So 26 outgoing. Did you get any incoming?
What do you mean?
Did you have personal referrals? Did you have?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember for that one how many, but from every event, I mean, I know these people, right? I'm in serious flow with them because it's this MVP group. So every event we have at least 2 or 3 real estate referrals, things that we didn't know about, or they might want to buy an investment property or something, so every event.
Fantastic. All right. And then, okay. So what did your follow-up look like? Well, actually, let's tell what happened on the yacht, right? So once they registered and they filled out the form, they were like, all right, you can go. So they went in. Did everybody have a name badge?
I don't think so. I think we started that afterwards, after I had posted in the group and asked people if they were having everybody wear it. So I don't think they did at that one. We're doing that now.
Yeah.
But just the sponsors had the name badges. And then there was a big bar in the middle of the yacht. So that was kind of the spot where everybody was hanging out at first. And we had the charcuterie board there. And so it was 2 hours. It was absolutely gorgeous, perfect weather.
Nice.
And then a lot of people were out on the bow of the boat, just hanging out. We had music playing. It was just like a big party.
Was the music provided by the yacht?
Yes.
Yeah. What kind of music was it? Was it a live band or a harpist?
No,
or
it was, they were just playing music. I don't know.
like piped in music from.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. So it was food, drinks, music, networking, and really you didn't have to structure it a whole lot. It was just a cocktail reception essentially, right?
Yeah. And probably 30 minutes in, maybe that's when we gave away the door prizes and thanked the sponsors.
Oh, I love that. So that's a little earlier than most, right? So if it's 6 to 8, you did it at 6:30, not at 7:30.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I tend to do it in the beginning because I don't know why it always makes me nervous to have to use the microphone in front of people. So I just want to get it over with and then I can just relax the rest of the time.
Yeah, whatever works for you, you know? So I love that. And all right, so they all and then you gathered them around so they could hear you, and you had a mic, and they turned the music off.
Yeah.
And then, so tell me how you did the door prizes.
So we, they were able to project the mic throughout the whole yacht. So they didn't have to come down into the bar area, but I did it in the bar area. And I just thanked them for coming, and told them, we couldn't have done this without our sponsors. And then I named each sponsor, had them stand up, and then we just gave away the prizes. And there were so many of them. It took a little bit of time, but
I bet it took 30 minutes.
Yeah, people were super excited. They had a drink in them by then, and they're like, I just got a beach towel or whatever, but they were super excited. So it was really fun. And then we have a photographer and a videographer at every event. So we had everybody go out on the bow of the boat. So San Diego Bay was the back, the downtown was the backdrop, and we had everybody out there, and she took a really great picture from the top. So we used that picture for the thank you cards after the event.
Oh, brilliant.
I had postcards made up from Vistaprint with that photo on it, and whether they came or not, they got it. So if they didn't come, then they were probably like,
they had FOMO.
Yeah, next year I got to make sure I go. But it was really cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, I hate to imprint, or we're having a conversation here. So, man, it might be two yacht events next year. You might have enough demand that you do 66 times 2 and we
could do that. And so we're definitely going to do it again next year. We just sent out a end of year survey asking the MVPs what events they want for next year. So the deadline is tomorrow to get that in, but so far almost everybody put the yacht event on there. So we'll probably definitely do it again. And Triton also did some $20 tickets on Black Friday. So I bought, I think I bought 20 pairs of those, or maybe it was 10 pairs. I don't remember, but I'm going to use those for some of my monthly giveaways as well, because people really liked it.
Yeah, I love it. So do they typically just do a dinner? Is that what they do on the yacht?
Ours was, I can't remember what time it was. It wasn't at night. It was like 2 to 4 or something. But they have they have wedding receptions on there. They have like dinner cruises. They have all kinds of things. It just depends on what you want.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good business model too with the yacht. Good way to make a yacht pay off,
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And then, all right. So you did door prizes, you thanked them. Then the rest of the night was just enjoying. Everybody had a drink and networked, hung out. So I guess the next step is follow-up. You handed out the 26 referrals through email to the different sponsors. You took care of the 2 to 3 incoming referrals that you got. And then, so what, I feel the need to do like an RWB, the coach in me is coming out. So, right, wrong, and better. And so what do you feel like went really right with this event?
I feel like 2 hours was perfect because people were like, oh no, it's over already. Like, we're having a great time.
But the energy's still high.
Yes.
Right. So nobody lost the energy. Nobody got super drunk either.
Right. Exactly. Because that's happened before.
Yeah.
That went really well. One thing that didn't go well was the people that ran this told us to get there 30 minutes early and they would let us on to set up, and they didn't because they had another group coming off. So my group had to like line up, and we weren't even able to get on there to set up. And it was fine because everybody was just talking, but in my head, I'm like, oh my God, I got to get on there and get the registration table set up.
Right.
But we were able to like run down, get the table set up. We do like goodie bags on every event. So we gave them the bags actually for that event when they got off the boat. It was a little bit backwards because we had sunscreen, chapstick, a whole bunch of stuff in there, but in a reusable grocery bag because we're not allowed to use plastic bags here in California. So
Yep.
I have my logo on the reusable grocery bag, and that's our goodie bag for every single event. We just put things in there. But yeah, that was it. It was just a little hurried in the beginning to be able to set things up.
Yeah. I wonder if you can request that next time, like be firmer about it, especially since they told you that you were going to have it. It's like, make sure that previous event gets off 30 minutes earlier,
Yeah, I think it was like some type of a wedding thing because people that were coming off there were drunk, and it was just taking them a long time to get off the boat. But yeah, we'll have to see next time.
All right. So Wright was fun, energy, the demand for it was phenomenal. Everybody had a good time. The hour that, doing 2 hours was great. Sponsors were happy. Right. A lot of things right. You didn't name all those things that were right. There's a lot of rights, You
always remember the one thing that didn't go perfectly, but no, I don't think anybody else even cared or noticed,
Yeah, well, they didn't think they were in your party, the drunk ones that got off and stuff. They understood that it wasn't your group. So
yeah.
All right. So where do you get your reusable bags?
I get them from Minuteman Press. I don't know if that's a nationwide company, but I have a vendor here that does it, and he's actually one of my past clients. So I try to do all my printing through him.
Love that. What goes in the goodie bags typically?
It depends on the event. So like for this one, we had sunscreen, chapstick. Each sponsor put like a reusable cup or something, or a pen or a notepad or something. So all the events are different. We try to cater it to whatever the event is.
Okay. Great stuff. And they walk away with a reusable grocery bag. And if you're having 3 or 4 of these a year, then, they have a couple. And by that time it's worn out maybe.
Yeah.
So, all right. And so what are you going to do better next time with the Triton Yacht event?
I think just trying to get set up sooner. But really, that's it. It was super easy. There wasn't a lot of setup, just setting up the table to have them register. I mean, the lady that did the charcuterie board, she set that up. We didn't have to really set anything up, which is the best event to have because then you don't have to stress out as much.
That's right. Maybe name badges for everybody.
Yes, definitely.
All right. So overall, share like words of wisdom on somebody that's looking to host an event like this. What words of wisdom or anything that we really haven't talked about that you would tell somebody, look out for this, or make sure you do this, or make sure you don't do this for a yacht event or an event on a boat, pontoon boat, anything to deal with, the water or the boat or anything like that.
I mean, I would just say in general is just to do it. Because I know in the beginning, even when I was doing the events before Event Mastery, I was so scared to do the event because I was afraid that no one would show up. And that's never happened to any event that I've done, even when I was just kind of not following a program before. But if you actually follow this program, people are going to show up. They're going to love your events, and they're going to ask you when the next one is. And that's another thing we tell them during the when we're giving away the door prizes, when the next event is, so they can kind of make a mental note of that. And it's all about the touches too. And I have to remind myself, I get nervous before every event. I'm like, oh, what if people don't show up? And then I remember you saying over and over, it's not about that. It's about the touches and all of that. And just do it. People love events. They absolutely love them. And they're so appreciative of it. And I was talking to Cherie Harrington today about November, and she was saying top of heart, not top of mind. And that's what I want to be with my MVPs. I just want them to know that I care and just think about me when they just need a reference to a vendor or something. You know, it doesn't have to be to buy or sell anything, but I want them to think about me.
Yeah, we want to be both, right? Everybody talks about being top of mind, but we need to think of being not just top of mind, but also top of heart. And what does that mean? An emotional connection. You know,
Right.
it needs to be more like, let's touch their heart, and they'll do the logical thing of doing business with us. And
Right.
we can work one way or the other. We can start with being top of heart, with fun events, inviting them to these things, caring about them, generosity, loving, appreciative, you know, all of that. And then they become clients, and that's that top of mind. Or a lot of them are clients, and they come to us, and their first impression of us is when they have to sell their house or when they've got to buy a house. It's a very nerve-wracking, you know, thing, a stressful thing, and it starts out top of mind, and then we need to stay top of mind and top of heart, and that's where the events help too. Is you
Yeah.
know, we're adding value to their lives forever. You know,
Right.
so I love that. I love the Top of Heart is also a great book by Grant Muller, and I encourage everyone and anyone to read it, about authenticity and being vulnerable. And he's definitely vulnerable in that book and shares some stories that I hadn't even heard about him. And so lots of good around top of mind and top of heart. What were maybe one or two or three of the most helpful strategies you learned in event mastery when you took it?
The registration desk is a big deal. Using sponsors is
Yeah.
huge. So understanding how to do that, how to get sponsors, how to get them to see the value in being a sponsor. And then, you know, getting them the referrals. I mean, that feels great. Like when you're able to hand over, like to my flooring company, I mean, they have at least 2 to probably 8 referrals every single time. So they're gonna sponsor my events because they're getting a ton of business off of it.
Yeah.
I think just the structure behind event mastery. Like I said, I had no structure before. I was like, I'm going to do a pie event. I'm going to have them RSVP so I know how many to buy. I'm going to set it up. I'm going to have some Prosecco, some pie, and that's it. I wasn't like, I don't know. There was no structure to it. So having the structure behind it is just a complete game changer.
If somebody was considering taking event mastery, like they're hearing this and listen, if they've been listening to Referrals podcast, then honestly, we should probably just give up, try and convince them to get into event mastery at this point, because we've had so many examples of how events have led to referrals. But if there's somebody that's brand new to Referrals podcast or what we do, what advice would you give them if they're considering event mastery?
You have to take it. I mean, it pays for itself in one event. Like I was paying for all these events by myself before. Sometimes I would split it with my lender, but you just can't spend enough money to have some really cool events. So, I mean, if you're going to do events, you need to have a system behind it that's going to actually be successful. And I love it. It's amazing. And my events are freaking cool now. They're really, really good. I mean, my MVPs are noticing it. They're like, you've really upped your game. You know, they can see.
Yeah.
They know.
I love that. And I love the joy I hear in your voice. Like you're excited about this. I mean, imagine a lead generation method that you're excited to do. And you know, it's funprospecting.com. It really is fun. And I love and the way you explained it is so clear, and you understand it at such a high level, and you've really run with this. And I love what you've done here. I love that you're doing the yaps. You know, you're implementing this on a yearly scale, and honestly, you have to feel pretty good that you have a system for the rest of your career. You know, you know what to do now when it comes to your database. And so I love it. This was fantastic. I took 2 pages, 2 pages of notes, literally from everything on this, and just, I absolutely love the event. I love the idea, and love you. I love where this is going, and I can't wait to hear future stories about the events that you're doing. You really remind me of Princess Di, right? I mean, it's like you're classy, you're hosting these events. I just see you flitting. Is that even a word? Flitting around, floating and flitting around on this yacht, just helping, just patting people and loving on people.
So fun.
And I just see that it's just a really great place to be, and you're in a great place. And I just really appreciate you coming on to the podcast today and sharing some of your secrets and helping others out.
Thank you for having me. And thank you for providing such a great forum to just learn, because I've learned so much from you, and it's just all about implementing the system. Just follow the system. The system works.
Yeah. Love that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Maybe, I mean, come on, first, second, third, 50th time you've heard about this, but you heard it here today, and you've seen that, we didn't tell her to do a Triton Yacht Club event, right? She did it and it worked. And it's really not about the event you do. It's following the system to maximize your referrals and so on and so forth. And like I said, I took 2 pages of notes. I hope that those of you on your treadmill didn't try to take notes while you're on your treadmill, but you opened up your notes and you're taking notes now. And one note I want you to take is check out eventmastery.com. Check out Referral Mastery Academy. What we do, you get 3 event masteries throughout the course of the year for your RMA investment. And you get a whole lot more with 2 live masterminds every single month with that, and a bunch of other classes, of course. But today was awesome. I really appreciate this. And, Cherie, you have a great one, and stay in touch and let us know about your next event and how it goes. And we appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap. If you'd like to join one of the largest networking groups and referral groups in the country, please join gengen.com. Check it out. Join the Generosity Generation. And we'd love to have you. We'd love to refer you, but we can't do it because we don't know you yet. So please come to joingengen.com. Introduce yourself. Let us know what you're doing. Let us know what business you're in. And let's have some fun. This is going to be a great year. Roar and soar in 2024. And I will see you on the next episode of Referrals Podcast. See you, everybody.